Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. Today, we'll strengthen and discover what we truly need to heal with the Yuen method. In the Yuen method, we typically avoid using the word heal. As Dr. Yuen said, it implies reaffirming or reprogramming ourselves as sick, potentially triggering weaknesses. However, after deep reflection on myself and others, I've concluded there are important aspects we need to heal within ourselves. Unresolved issues trigger new weaknesses, connecting to other memories. For this, I've prepared today's triad about what we need to heal with the Yuen method. First and foremost, it's the love we missed out on, what they couldn't, wouldn't, or didn't know how to give you. This absence left gaps on many levels, now showing up in various aspects of your life. This deep lack drives us to seek that missing love, often from people who can't provide it, perpetuating the cycle. Another aspect we need to heal is our self ignorance, meaning not realizing who we truly are, why we act certain ways, what drives us, what our traumas and fears are, even what our talents and skills are. We know very little about ourselves. We have some ideas, but they're not organized. And without that order, we can't tap into the power that comes from truly knowing ourselves. Another aspect, the next part of this triad, is unidentified traumas. Beyond your memories of debilitating experiences, what caused pain, what caused impact or shock, lies what you don't remember, traumas ingrained in you, which also draw you closer to people, be it partners, friends, or family, those who trigger and activate these same trauma-related emotions, sensations, and reactions. In other words, we keep repeating, re traumatizing, and re experiencing our own traumas over and over again, traumas we don't even know or recognize. So today, we're going to strengthen ourselves for this. I'm Rocio Santibanez, a Yuen method instructor. We meet here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to grow stronger together. Before we begin this strengthening process, I want to remind you that, well, I have good news. On December 30th, we'll have a free workshop where we'll address the money triad. We aim to end the year in the most spectacular and powerful way possible. It's all about abundance, prosperity, and wealth. This workshop will be held on Zoom, exclusively for registered participants. The registration link is in the description of this video. Remember, it's free of charge. Also, on January 2nd, we'll be hosting a workshop on removing blocks so you can clear your own path for 2025, identifying and eliminating obstacles and opening new opportunities. You'll learn to create your own paths, removing barriers throughout the year. We want to start the year strong, so we're doing this on January 2nd. In January, we'll also launch a 10-day challenge to unlock your abundance. These challenges have brought great results, and January's focus is on abundance. If you're interested, check the video description for a direct WhatsApp link for more info. Let's begin strengthening ourselves with this triad. First, we'll separate the components. We'll isolate all the love and lack of love within you, even what you haven't recognized, what's unknowingly shaped your motivations, actions, and decisions. Even from this lack of love, you've created things that brought benefits, growth, and progress, but they stemmed from pain and a lack of love. We'll also separate unidentified traumas, including past lives, ancestral, and life experiences. that keep repeating in your experiences and interactions, often without you noticing. That's why you say, "This always happens to me," or "This never happens to me." This reflects underlying trauma. We'll also separate this self ignorance from ourselves, all that you've avoided, ignored, or failed to learn about yourself. Let's separate what's precisely this self ignorance causing you to make choices against your true self, your mission, your purpose, making you become someone you're not, work in jobs you dislike, and associate with people who don't align with you or resonate at your frequency. We'll separate these, remove their weaknesses, and erase to zero minus infinity 100% of the time infinitely. We'll also balance these, ensuring they're centered, equilibrated, and stable. Let's strengthen the midline first to accept, acknowledge, and recognize the full impact this triad has had on your life, shaping your experiences, decisions, desires, finances, and even your physical health. Will strengthen your core 100% with infinite potential all the time, endlessly. Strong, as they say here, to be alert, present, and aware, attentive to yourself, present with yourself, and conscious of what we'll discuss in this strengthening exercise. Will also erase the cumulative effect of living distracted, confused, and resistant to self-reflection, resistant to self-discovery, because as we get to know ourselves, it's uncomfortable, triggering other weaknesses, fears, and emotions that reveal more about you. So we remove the effect of living detached from ourselves, of our own evolutionary processes, and living with resistance, rejecting the life we're experiencing, which seems hard, difficult, tiring, challenging, filled with poverty, limitations, and frustrations. I'm living disconnected from my true self with unresolved lack of love that you couldn't or wouldn't address. So we erase this cumulative effect to zero minus infinity 100% of the time, infinitely. We'll also erase all accumulated effects, all misfortune brought by living with this lack of love. We erase all memories of rejection, remembered or not, from conception through adulthood. Let's erase all the times you've relived this pain, wound, and emotions over and over. Whether rejection exists or not, we interpret and experience it as such, reliving it repeatedly. Will also erase all traces of abandonment within you every time you were abandoned, literally or figuratively, not just when you perceived it as abandonment, but also when this abandonment was repeated through self-neglect. You abandoning yourself, ignoring, repressing, evading, closing off. Will erase everything this has brought about. Disconnection from your emotions, sensations, and reactions. Disconnection from others, your processes, life, earth, and the universe. We erase all this to zero minus infinity, 100% of the time with infinite time. We'll also erase the accumulated effect of emptiness, of living with this void, these unresolved emotions, this misunderstanding, which brought confusion, distortion, and a completely wrong, weak self-concept of ourselves. We erase all that manifests in your present as lack of love, of course, lack of positive experiences, lack of money, health, time, physical potential, and superficial relationships. We erase it and also erase everything this has become nested as devaluation, and ensure this devaluation isn't identified, nor know where it's reflected, or that I'm making choices from this devaluation stemming from all this lack of love. Let's erase that this lack of love isn't just the first generation, but Your parents, grandparents, great grandparents, and ancestors all lived with these same wounds, traumas, and lack of love. Let's erase this as those who couldn't give love didn't know how because they never received it themselves. We'll strengthen ourselves to increase acceptance, understanding, and the transcendence of this comprehension. Be 100% strong for this with infinite potential and time all the time. Will also erase the cumulative effect of the lack of love you didn't receive but also didn't give and witnessed in others' interactions, how they acted from a place of lovelessness. This lack of love means impatience, misunderstanding, intolerance, lack of affection and recognition, all that's been missing in your life, which of course hurts because life without love is painful. Let's erase this pain, physical, emotional, recognized and avoided. Will clear all discomfort, illness, and physical limitations it's become. We'll delete it to zero minus infinity, 100% of the time, infinitely. We'll also erase all memories of lacking love, of living without it. Living without love is truly painful. It hurts the soul, body, and life. We'll erase all lives lived this way, here and elsewhere, all experiences. We'll clear lack of love in ancestors and descendants, past and future. Will erase how this lack of love is reflected in your work, how it affects your basic supports, time, relationships, money, physical potential, and your overall health. Let's also erase other more severe instances of love deprivation, because it's one thing to lack love and another to face aggression, violence, authoritarianism, criticism, and punishment on top of that. So we'll erase all you've experienced, not just the absence of love, but its opposite too, everything that made you feel unworthy, undeserving, or insufficient to be loved. We'll erase how others' actions and decisions have shaped you, becoming behavioral patterns. We'll erase the buildup of time spent seeking love where it wasn't, chasing what feels familiar, and what feels familiar, the lack of love. So, choosing partners unable, unwilling, or unsure how to love, picking jobs that offered no recognition, where satisfaction was absent, where fulfillment was lacking, having experienced both love and heartbreak in friendships that betrayed us, that were disloyal, and so on. Now let's erase the cumulative effect of all this to zero minus infinity, 100% of the time, infinitely. Let's separate all the wounds you currently carry: rejection, abandonment, humiliation, betrayal, devaluation, all those present in your life right now, one, two, three, all that are present. Will erase their accumulated effect, will erase this information from cells, molecules, atoms, quantum particles, in physical spaces, in each member of your family. Will also erase the effect of lost love opportunities, meaning those who could, wanted, and knew how to give love, but you didn't like them, you didn't want them, you rejected them, you gave them more heartache. So we erase this, all the opportunities we've missed to heal this lack of love. All of this has also brought positive things. So let's strengthen the positives that lack of love has brought, because lack of love also brings self-awareness. It brings searching, it brings commitment to oneself. Like all the people present here, to be able to transcend all of this, that is, this pain, this lack of love, also brings us closer to what can heal it. So we reinforce this and we strengthen that whenever you notice you're acting from this lack of self-love with self-criticism, perfectionism, overworking, compulsions, etc. You can recognize it. As a cumulative effect of lack of love, you can be attentive, present, and aware to erase it. Be strong for it. 100% potential, 100% of the time, with infinite possibilities. They tell me thanks. Lately, after searching, too much hidden info has come to light. That's it. When you start digging, you begin to uncover. As you peel back the layers, you start to realize many things. This deep self discovery can be very uncomfortable, surprising. It's shocking to see how often we've relived the same traumas, how many times we've re experienced them. We've re traumatized ourselves, not others. We sought others to repeatedly inflict these traumas on us. So be strong to feel, perceive, and sense all the significance of this lack of love, self knowledge, and the triad we're working on here. Let's get strong to be attentive, present, and aware, to give, receive, and feel love. Let's disconnect love from pain, abandonment, violence, indifference, and all outdated wrong relationships. Let's strengthen ourselves to realize what you associate love with, why we link love to suffering, and let's get strong to recognize how often we think we're loving when what we're really doing is reliving dependency on traumas, on this lack of self knowledge, and this lack of love for others, lack of love for ourselves. Let's also strengthen you so that you can give this love, but to the right people, so you can determine beforehand who you can give your love to and who you can't, because the big issue is wanting to give love to those who can't. They don't know or won't accept it. Let's erase this energy of stubbornness, attachment, and confusing love with healing a lack of love. We'll erase it to zero minus infinity, 100% of the time, infinitely. Clearly, indifference is a lack of love. So let's identify who's triggering these pains, suffering, and feelings of lack in you. Usually, it's primarily the partner. It can also be children, parents, friends, jobs, or income sources. It's constantly reflecting this lack of love and deep void so you can see it clearly, so you don't think you're blocked or unlucky or that others are bad, but truly see how your own information is being mirrored back to you through these interactions. I see here that today's winner is Nick Tepo, so contact us to join one of these workshops. We'll also erase the built up effect of you not realizing this lack of love and neglecting your emotions, believing emotions were out of your control, that you couldn't consciously trigger more empowering feelings, but instead believing that what you felt was just what you felt and you couldn't do anything about it. In other words, you saw emotions as something external, separate from you, beyond your control. We're going to strengthen you so that today you recognize your emotions as information from your subconscious. And the more that emotion, especially an uncomfortable one, repeats, it's revealing traumas and this lack of love and self understanding. We're going to empower you to want and desire, need to transcend it, finding ways, paths, bridges, and people who can help you reconnect with yourself, healing wounds through what you give yourself without seeking, asking, or demanding from others. Be strong to find techniques, tools, and paths to overcome this challenge, this life purpose that also involves. Let's strengthen the heart, nervous system, and solar plexus to feel self love, to feel this connection with ourselves. So, even amid uncomfortable emotions, you can feel neutral, stay attentive, present, and conscious. to observe and gradually dissolve them, transcending strongly to allow this healing within you through your actions, commitment, and self observation. 100% potential all the time with infinite time will erase the effects of lack of love, which is the lack of approval and dependence on others. When there's emotional dependence, toxic relationships, or financial limits, it's the accumulated effect of lack of love. You cling to things due to inner emptiness, seeking security will strengthen you for detachment, even for disapproval and dependency, so you can identify and release, erase, free, forgive, protect, and forget it. Will unconditionally strengthen you for your 2025 journey of self-discovery. Remember, this channel has a playlist of videos about self-knowledge, all focused on you, helping you awaken to new aspects of yourself. Let's erase the resistance to self-reflection, to identifying your shadow, flaws, challenges, obstacles, and pain. Will remove fear and the need to control. Will empower you to flow through discomfort during this change process, as change can be uncomfortable. Will enhance your ability to feel, perceive, and understand yourself, why you do what you do, why you desire what you do, why you stay or go where you do. Let's erase the idea that self-knowledge brings confusion, self-deception, and doubt, or that it triggers insecurity, shame, and guilt. We'll remove the effects of this guilt because the lack of love we've experienced isn't our fault, but our responsibility. We must overcome it for our own good, but others' actions aren't our fault. Instead, it's our challenge, our mission, our purpose for self-improvement. Let's also erase the need for forgiveness and strengthen acceptance. We must admit and recognize that this transformation depends on us. If it's within your abilities and reach, you can transcend all of this and live not with lack, but with an abundance of love. The more love you feel, the more you'll find in others around you people who reflect these feelings, who activate all those memories of love that exist. Let's erase the negligence and apathy. Let's get to know yourself. Let's stop denying opportunities when they arise. When a path or tool appears, don't self-sabotage or distract yourself with unnecessary activities. Don't avoid paying attention because you're afraid to confront your pain. Don't fear recognizing your shadow. Let's be strong and realize that everyone has a shadow. When you discover your shadow, your fears, traumas, motivations, pains, sufferings, control issues, judgments, and criticisms, you'll realize it's part of you. We also understand that this shadow brings positive aspects, helps us grow, evolve, and brings us. We achieve results even from scarcity, and we also create constructions. We've gained benefits from our dark sides too, which is why we'll strengthen ourselves to embrace our shadow and reconcile with it. This info within us needs transcending, and now that the new year is starting, we can make a deep commitment to ourselves to finally resolve each of these aspects. Let's reinforce the link to your true self, intuition, and purpose. Will strengthen you to connect your higher and lower brain. We connect back and forth, removing all accumulated effects of external influences that disconnect you from yourself. We also address internal influences like judgments, criticisms, accusations, complaints, comparisons, and expectations that disconnect you and return you to moments of pain, suffering, fatigue, limitation, apathy, depression, and disconnection. We erase these internal and external influences, strengthening you to avoid retriggering them. We reconnect you 100% with infinite potential all the time. This is the moment to improve your life. When you seek transformation, self-knowledge, and information, you begin to connect with it, sometimes in abundance. Abundant opportunities you can't absorb all at once but can prioritize. Will strengthen your mental clarity, empowering you to neutrally observe aspects of your being. These can reconnect you with your true self, bringing reconciliation. As you reconcile with your history, traumas, and pain, deepening self-knowledge, you'll experience a more fulfilling life where even small things bring joy, calm, and peace. Will empower you to recognize, accept, and transform these aspects, connecting with your true essence, purpose, and mission. Your path, like everyone's, is filled with challenges and obstacles to overcome. Obstacles exist, but it's our job to overcome them. Will make you strong so you feel that you matter, deserve, and are enough. You'll feel capable and able to transcend the dark aspects of your personality that lead to self-sabotage, procrastination, and frustration. Will strengthen you to feel empowered and increase your self-commitment, motivating you to take consistent action. Will also strengthen you to release trapped memories, removing fear of pain, hopelessness, and exhaustion. Let's erase that resistance to letting go of inherited burdens. From your physical to your spiritual body, we're going to strengthen your body, mind, and spirit so you can keep revealing this information, seeing it from a neutral perspective, and by being attentive, present, and aware, you can gradually transform. We're going to make you strong enough to release, let go, and forgive yourself. Release, let go, and forgive others. Release, let go, and forgive life itself for your life experiences, your pains, your sufferings, your shortages, your limitations, your difficulties. Strong for this triad at 100% with infinite potential, 100% of the time, with infinite time. They tell me I'm the only man here, presumably because there are still few men who approach these transformations, but more and more are coming. The commitment is increasingly growing because it's a task for everyone. Obviously, women tend to do this more because we are more in touch with our emotions. We're going to make you strong to face all these unrecognized traumas. You can discover them as you connect the dots of your past and come to realize how often you've experienced the same thing. How many times have you chosen the same profile or pattern, huh? We're drawn to familiar personalities to understand and transcend them. Our subconscious recognizes these patterns, which is why we don't always fall for who we want. We fall for our subconscious patterns, often our traumas. Let's address these unrecognized issues from this life, past lives, and our ancestors. We acknowledge these patterns to honor them, recognize their impact, and remove the limitations they bring to our lives. Let's strengthen all aspects of our work here: internal and external dynamics, limits, and vertices at 100% infinite potential all the time. We'll remove everything that hinders, limits, delays, or obstructs your ability to nurture self-love, recognize your traumas, and embark on this journey of self-discovery into your inner self. We'll erase it to zero minus infinity, 100% of the time, infinitely. Reset, recalibrate, and reprogram your body, mind, and spirit. So remember to sign up for this free workshop, which is on December 30th and will be held via Zoom. The direct link to access it is in the video description. Thanks so much. Have a great Wednesday. I'll likely stream tomorrow as I can't on Friday. So see you tomorrow and thank you very much. Until next time.